Okay, hello everybody. My name's Claire Lewis. I'm the Senior Business Development Manager for Visteon. And what that role entails is forming business relationships with local technology companies, local government, to try and improve our skills, fill our technology gaps, and just generally make us operate more efficiently. Unlike Paul and Mike and their two companies, we are vastly inexperienced at applying for bids. In fact, we've done one, and that's the one I'm going to talk about. But the reason that we haven't done it is we've been put off, really, by the amount of paperwork and bureaucracy. So I'm going to talk you through our experience on this particular project and maybe how our views have changed. So first of all, I'll talk about Visteon, and that will be very brief. Okay, so Visteon is one of the largest automotive companies in the world, and I suspect that maybe half of you have probably never even heard of us. We've got 24,000 employees, and our annual sales are around $7 billion. We do operate in Chelmsford. We've got two buildings in Chelmsford. We've got our European Centre of Excellence for electronics, and we've also got a brand new test centre which we've just recently opened. And we've got about 320 employees, of which 80% are graduate engineers, and we've got a small amount of apprentices and students as well. So we're pretty much focused here in Chelmsford on high-end electronics. So let me talk about our one and only project. So this is a TSB funded project, and it's a collaboration between us, Essex County Council, and the University of Essex. And I think I should say we found Essex County Council very open to this type of project. We approached them almost like a cold call last year to talk about a potential project, and it's actually worked very well. So we applied under the call for integrated transport and in-field solutions, and basically what we're working on is a smart seamless mobility app for multimodal travel. So the app covers you whether you're in a car, whether you're walking, whether you're on a bike or bus or train, and it's intended to cover the whole of Essex. The reason that Visteon is involved is that 74% of those users we anticipate will be vehicle drivers. So the timing for this, the competition opened in October 2014, and the application deadline was November 27th. And one of the tips I'd give you is start working on it straight away, because it took us a long time to prepare the application. Part of that was due to inexperience, and part of it, I think, is how you expected to write the application. And we were informed in January this year that we'd won our application. But the project didn't start till April 1st, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And we're expected to complete the project at the end of this month. It's a 3-month feasibility project, and then there's a stage 2 after this which we can apply for the actual implementation of our project. And as I said before, this was our first project that we've applied for, so 1 out of 1's not too bad. Okay, so our assessment of the whole process and the project, and this covers the process itself and how the consortium has worked. The application process was very time consuming. I estimate that I spent more time on the application process than I will do on the 3-month feasibility phase. Part of that is sort of lack of experience in the process. The other thing is, like Paul and Mike, I'm an engineer by background, and I write reports like an engineer. But TSB doesn't want you to write reports like an engineer. They want it to be more expansive, not bullet points, not really to the point, is my experience. So it's a different way of writing for me. for me certainly. And also I found it a bit repetitive. So some of the questions, I thought, well, I've answered that in a previous section, so you just have to sort of repeat it again. And if there's that much space to fill in, then make sure you fill it. Don't leave any gaps. Lots of paperwork both before and after the offer, and that caused us some delay after we had the sort of notification of our win, is we had more paperwork to generate before we could actually start the project. So it took us a couple of months to get that all in place. There's no room to modify the scope once you've started the project. So you've told the TSB what you're going to do, and you go ahead and do it. You don't deviate. And sometimes I think that can be a detriment of a project, because sometimes you might need to change it just for the benefit of the project. And there's one consortium related sad, and I think it's because we've all come from quite different environments. I felt I'm the project manager for this, and sometimes it felt like I was herding cats, but it's actually worked quite well now. So these are the good bits about it. Once we were awarded the project, the support from the TSB was very good, and the monitoring officer was assigned quite quickly. There's still a lot of paperwork, but generally it's pretty good. From the consortium, it's been a really good experience of public-private partnership, and we've cooperated quite well. And we've all gained knowledge both from the content of the project and the content of the process as well. Visteon is moving into sort of connected cars, connection to infrastructure and car-to-car connection, and this has given us some good experience on how to manage big data. And the experience has generated some enthusiasm for future projects, which causes me some problems as the programme manager, because I have to try and reel people in and get us back on course for discussing the project that we're working on. Lastly, I've got some tips. Based on our sort of one experience of this process, define the roles and responsibilities clearly before the application. So during your application process, make sure you all know what you're doing. Start your application as soon as possible. So it did take us a long time. The TSB are quite good at proposing formats for things, but if you have formats for things like the collaboration agreement that you've used in the past, don't be afraid to use them. They're not going to dictate to you that you have to use certain formats. Have somebody sort of outside of your project and outside of your field of expertise actually read your application for you. And this, so my first draft of the project I wrote as an engineer, and then we've had some help to sort of tailor that to the way that the TSB want to see it, and just get somebody that's completely disconnected with it to read it. Don't have loads of acronyms in there, and anybody should be able to read it and get an idea of what the project is about. Test out your access to the TSB website. It took me a week to get access to the website to be able to upload our documents, and install a strict project management regime to your consortium from the start, because you need to keep on track, because things quickly sort of slip off of timing. And something that TSB told us was, don't underspend on your project. If you said you're going to spend £50,000, then make sure you spend it, because it doesn't look good for them for you to underspend. And that's really our experience so far. We've got another 3 weeks of the projects to go. We're on track, and I think we will be applying for more projects now that I know how to write them. Thank you.